Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to the Rebelcast. You know, as far as this platform goes, there are so many amazing documentarians, people that transcend the platform itself, folks that can change the world with their speech. Sadly, Jimmy Bunker was not available today, so we wish him well, and I hope he's enjoying holiday. We got Mr. Snowflake though, so how are you, sir?
Hello. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I appreciate you coming on such short notice. Jimmy being on holiday, we know he does run the majority of your channel, and he handles most of the heavy lifting. So, I don't. In all honesty, boys and girls, this is Mr. Snowflake, the one and only. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Before we get into the serious stuff, I do want to ask some questions. There is some allegations brought against you. You did have a sitcom. It ran 3 episodes, and during that time, and we've spoken to Comrade Flake, Ninja Horse, and someone who will not be mentioned because she's, again, in protection right now. How's that going? Are you okay? Are you off the sauce? Is everything okay?
Everything is fine now. The sitcom is done.
Okay.
That toxic part of my life is over.
I'm glad. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it again. So, Mr. Snowflake, can I ask you, why Mr. Snowflake?
Why the name?
Yes.
Why Mr. Snowflake? I think when I first started to do videos, I was going to do this. Well, I did do a character, but he was going to be a snowflake, but like in the sitcom.
Yeah.
He was going to be this got offended easily, weak character. And he was that in the sitcom, but then he wasn't really that in the documentaries, but I just like that. I just stuck with the name.
Well, I love the gimmick. I love the shtick. I love that everybody has
that. I like it, yeah.
And to be honest with you guys, I want to be serious. Mr. Snowflake here is doing this pro bono. Like, completely, he doesn't charge anything. He was kind enough. We've had conversations. An amazing man. I know we had some humor in the beginning, but a genuine human being, a wonderful guy to talk to. And I'll go into the beginning, how I first found your channel. Tyree Sneed. Does that name ring any bells?
I really like Tyree Sneed.
He's an interesting fellow. What made you get into Tyree Sneed, of all people?
Because I don't know a lot of the lolcows.
Yeah.
I asked the fans, who should I do next?
Okay.
And somebody said, "Oh, do Tyree Sneed." Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Then I looked him up and I thought, "Oh, he's a little bit like Charlie Zelenoff." But yeah, once I started watching Tyree Sneed,
it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole going down that. Like, listen, literally, once you start learning about him and his family, his aunt is, what was it? Carly Farina? What is it?
So, yeah.
Trips, what's it? Carly Farina? Farino? Something like that. But she was the president, I think, president of Hewlett Packard, and like his whole family is successful, and he's just that, like, he's that black sheep. He's, I mean, it's if it wasn't so hilarious, it would be disgusting. Him as a human being.
I thought I must have got that fact wrong, and he had a really rich family.
Yeah.
But people kept telling us no, it's real, and the more I looked into it, yeah, I thought I just got it wrong at first.
Yeah, actually, before we go forward, speaking of Charlie Zelenoff, I'd be remiss to not bring this up. The great Will I Am. He's a member of this channel, been on here a couple times, great guy, brother from another mother. He told me to ask you a specific question because he's also seen you. And so the question is, you know who Jake Paul is?
Yes.
Do you think there's money in a fight between Jake Paul and Charlie Zelenoff?
Yes. I'd watch it. I'd pay for it. I haven't paid for any of Jake Paul's fights yet.
But you pay for that
one. I think it would sell. Jimmy would watch it. I'd watch it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, tell me your relationship with the great Jimmy Bunker. Tell me the relationship between you two.
Jimmy is he helps me with the videos as much as he can be bothered. Yeah, he helps. We haven't seen each other in a while. He only lives about an hour away, but he's got work and I've got work, so we rarely get to see each other. So now we'll just message constantly about YouTube, and when I get stuck, I'll message and say, fix this bit, and straight away he'll fix it.
I get that, because I have a guy that I work with. His name is CMD. Wonderful guy. He's a hardworking guy. I mean, just bust his ass. But when I get stuck on something, we'll brainstorm. We'll do a think tank, and we'll come up with something. But as far as your videos go, I found that original Tyree Sneed video when I was looking up more information about him, and your dissection and your delivery is beautiful. When did you get there? Because that can't be something that you just came up with. It's very well done. You don't pick sides. You're very right down the middle, and it's hard for a lot of content creators, as far as I've seen up to this point, to be that unbiased. How do you do it?
Jimmy would send us a lot of videos on lolcows, and some were really good, and some weren't. Some took a side and were getting very personal and angry. And I didn't like that. So I thought, I'll not do that. I'll just be straight down the middle. Because I don't hate any of them. I'm not invested. So it's easier to just remain impartial.
So even after, say, again, talking about Tyree Sneed, getting through that, finding out about his history, finding out about what kind of person he was there any kind of malice or just dislike of him as a human, or were you able to keep that unbiased opinion even through the whole thing?
For Tyree Sneed, yeah, I don't think there was a point I ever disliked him. No, I just thought he was funny and just harmless.
I would agree. He's harmless. He's a very disgusting. And again, it's hard for me because I'm very passionate about that stuff. So I wouldn't want to be around the guy, but I can see the quality that he has as an entertainer, I guess.
He commented on the video.
Did he?
I can't remember what he said now, but he said he didn't like the video and he hated us, and that's what he said. I think he sent like 4 or 5 messages saying how much he hated the video and me. But I can't remember if I replied now.
I'd be careful. He's a dangerous man. He is Jason Bourne. So after I watched that Tyree video, got some information, I stayed. I couldn't stop. I watched your content and I was enthralled. I just, you were talking about a lot of stuff that a lot of others don't talk about. Again, moving from Tyree, you can't say the name Tyree Sneed without connecting Charlie Zelenoff. I thought that was very well done too. And you break it down how humorously, but how he's the greatest fighter of all time with a record of 300 plus. He fought, was it Deontay Wilder, correct? Deontay Wilder. The things he had done and said to Deontay Wilder and how he was justified in getting his ass whooped. You even went so far as to talk about the Floyd Mayweather Sr. incident. And like I said, how long does it take you to do the research for these videos? I mean, like I said, it's all quality. It's all very top shelf work. When do you find the time with, you have a full-time job and all these other things?
I have to get up before work, 3 hours before work, and watch videos and do the research. And then when I'm at work on my break, dinner time, I'll have my headphones in, just whenever I can. It's hard to find as much time as I want, but so that's why it takes 3 weeks to get videos out now. 2, 3, 4 weeks.
But you understand that that's still impressive. Even the greatest documentarians on this platform, it'll take them 2, 3 months to put out the quality of work you're doing. So is it still a passion project to you, or has it become monotonous and tedious to you?
No, I love it. That's why I don't mind doing it. I think the only video that wasn't fun or felt like work was vegan gains.
Yeah.
That's the only time I didn't have fun and I didn't want to get up 3 hours before work.
Yeah, because there's some people that just, even you being someone who's completely unbiased, I could see that just draining after a while.
Yeah, that was a hard one. That yeah, I like the video. I like the way it turned out, but watching all the videos, yeah, that wasn't fun.
So, what was the first one? Like, I've looked at your catalog and I've seen some of the videos. What is the first one that you put all that effort into? Which is the one that just made it you decide to go from? Because I remember seeing a lot of Jimmy's work on doing film review and what have you. And some of his stuff's a little out there, but it's good. I like it. When did you decide? You know what? I'm going to go from this to transition into being a documentarian.
I think it started with the Zelenoff one,
Okay.
and then I did a little one on Monday and Matt.
Okay. Before we move forward, I want to talk about that. So many people have talked about Mundane Matt, and then for those of you who don't know, Mundane Matt was a YouTuber, and he's not. I don't. He's very boogie 2988, and I want to get into that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that he rides that fence and he kisses ass, and he was trying to get. There was a video he did shock value. He would drop the N word, and whatever. But I never found him entertaining. But he hit his stride when the whole him getting copyright strikes and what have you, and looking like the victim. And he could tell his trajectory was going up, but then he committed the greatest sin you can as far as a content creator. He lied to the audience. He was exactly what he pretended not to be, and he was striking other channels. What is your thoughts of Mundane Matt?
I think that's the first, because when I first did Zelenoff, that was fun.
Yeah,
because I really like boxing, so it was nice to do a boxing video. But Monday and Matt was the first one where I really got the whole lolcow YouTube character thing, because it was fascinating. I think he had over 150,000 subscribers or more.
Yeah.
And then he let it all go by just being honest. So that was the first one that fascinated us.
So, what is your opinion on his reaction now? Because I remember Mr. Medicare, who I love Mr. Medicare, but as far as Medicare goes, he made him call himself a soy bitch boy or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, I do know. Yeah.
So Matt pretty much after like all this time finally confessed, yes, I did this, and he tried to go with the old excuse. I'm not in the mental place. I've been in a very dark place. Fucking bailout 101. And it didn't work out for him, and to a point now he's almost trying to pretend like it doesn't exist. Like that didn't happen. Clearly there you can go back and see that it did happen. What is your opinion now of Mundane Matt and how he's changed and become this, facade of what he used to be, this visage, and how he's mocked and he's ridiculed because of one huge mistake?
I think it was only a couple of weeks ago, I thought, I'll do another video on him.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I'll do a really big research and get it how I really want. But I went on his channel and I think he only had one video. I think there was one or two videos and that was it. So I don't know if he deleted them, or I'm guessing he did, because I haven't seen him since I did that video. So I don't know what he's.
It's been for me. In what I've seen, it's been a very downhill progression. Now he's to a point where he's trying to deny anything happened, but again, it's clearly out there for anybody to see. If you were caught in that situation, let me role reversal. If you were caught in that situation, which you're a very stand up, you're a very humble guy, and I can say that because of the conversations we've had privately. But say that were to happen. Say you had a stance and then it was turned around on you. How would you have reacted to that?
I think just be honest. I think watching all these lolcows mess up, I think just do the opposite to what they would do. Just be honest and own it. So I think that would have helped Monday and Matt.
I agree. I think that I think I did an interview with a gentleman named Technicals, and I think his quote was, "You didn't fuck a kid. You can turn this around." And he didn't do anything to an extreme. Like, he could have owned it and said, "Yeah, you know what? I did this and it was wrong, but here's the truth." Instead, it was throw blame on other people, and I don't agree with that. I didn't find him entertaining to begin with, but that just ruined it.
I think people like a little redemption story. So even if somebody messes up, as long as you come good in the end, I think he still would have had people on his side.
I agree with that. So enough with these shorter videos. Like, Then I saw another video, and it just you elicit an emotion. At least from me, I'm sure other people feel the same way. Boogie 2988. That video was very well done. You touched on the rise and fall, the insecurities with his mother, his insecurities himself, his life in general, and watching that, you never tried to tear him down. You really were trying. I felt like almost you were rooting for him in some regard, that you wanted him to
Yeah.
turn it around. What are your opinions as far as Boogie 2988?
Yeah, I didn't dislike him when I was watching all of his videos. A lot of times I was rooting for him. I wanted him to lose the weight like he said he was going to, and get happier and stop with the self-pity. I was really rooting for him. But every time I watched the video, he would still go back to the self-pity and messing up on his diet. So I kind of liked him, but I wanted him to win, but he never did, and I don't think he is now either.
Well, I mean, and that's a similar story for a lot of the people you've discussed. And in watching that, I had pretty much written Boogie off for a while. I thought there was no saving this guy. But like, again, watching your video, it elicits an emotion. Like, you're very good at what you do. And I still want him to turn it around. I still want him to be better, because it is a rags to riches story. You have a guy who was basically living from couch to couch, and he blew up and he was doing great. And then he became the nice guy, the Mr. Rogers, if you will, of YouTube. And I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for everything. I think that was a breaking point for him, losing his wife. But a lot of that stuff could have been prevented, and then I got really upset when you hear about this cam girl he was dating, and he basically tried to turn her into his new wife. And it's like, man, what you're doing is wrong. But it goes back to, the victims of abuse tend to become the abusers themselves. And I don't know. I mean, do you think there's a redemption arc for Boogie?
I was hoping there was, because he commented on the video I did of him as well. And he said even though he didn't agree with a lot of the points, he still liked the video. And then I think did he do a video? Yeah, he did a video where he said, "I'm done with the self-pity. I'm going to turn it around." And I was messaging Jimmy saying, "Oh, this will be a good video if he can prove everybody wrong and do it." But a few months later, he hasn't changed.
It's a cycle with him. I mean, he even flew out Diamond Dallas Page, who is a former professional wrestler. Diamond Dallas Page has done some incredible work with people, getting people to lose hundreds and hundreds of pounds with his yoga and his, dieting. And hell, Trips, can I talk about Diamond Dallas Page?
Of course.
Okay, so she's a big fan of DDP yoga. She actually has been using DDP yoga, and it's been very successful for her. So the system does work, but you have to be committed. And I think that's a problem with Boogie. He doesn't know, he doesn't have the will to continue. And then whenever it doesn't go his way, immediately he reverts back to the old ways of things. And it's sad. It's a very tragic tale. And that's a story where a lot of the people you've talked about. I do want to go back, though, and talk about that sitcom, the 3 episodes of the sitcom you did. We were joking in the beginning, talking about the stuff. What gave you that idea to do a mini little sitcom?
Oh, trying to think what it was. Oh, it was earlier in the YouTube career. I would try and make Jimmy laugh.
Yeah.
So I'd say, I haven't been able to touch YouTube for weeks. I've been busy with work.
Yeah.
But I'd be making secret videos, and I thought he would laugh at a really bad, silly sitcom. So yeah, I would just make the episodes and not tell him, and then upload when he'd get home from work, and he'd text saying how he loved them and he was crying, laughing.
I think Jimmy is the other side of your coin in the sense that he motivates you, and I guess is my opinion. I mean, if you disagree, tell me. I think Jimmy Bunker as a human being, he just seems like a one. I've never okay. I'll be honest with you guys. I've never spoken to Jimmy Bunker. I think he's a wonderful person for what he does for you. I think everybody needs that. I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by, I've been through BS communities with drama and negativity. We talked about a little bit of that before privately, but I've been in these negative communities where they use these horrible things to bring you down, and they go after try to find your past and just ruin you emotionally. But I've surrounded myself around a lot of good people who are very positive, Trips being one of them. And they've motivated me to keep going. Even when I have failures, they motivate me to keep going. And you've been so grateful. I'm so grateful to have met you because you're the same guy. Like you're very motivating. Is that what Jimmy does for you?
Yeah, that's Jimmy's. Well, that's what Jimmy calls himself. That's his official title, is the Mr. Snowflake motivator. Because he does. When I'm up at, I don't know, sometimes I'll be editing at 2 a.m. He'll be up, and I'll message saying, "What do I do here? I'm getting stuck. Should I just scrap the whole thing?" And he'll message something back, and it'll, "Oh, perfect, right." And then I'm away again. So yeah, he's perfect for motivating, and yeah, he's great.
So there's more than just Mr. Snowflake and the Snowflake hierarchy and the family of the flake. I like that. I'm going to stick with the family of the flake. Of course, Comrade Snowflake. You have Cyber Flake, I believe, right? Robo Flake.
I can't even remember now. There's so many. Yeah. I think that's it.
And then Horse Ninja.
Yes, Horse Ninja. I like that one. Yeah.
And there's a female flake. I don't know what her name is though.
Love Interest. She was made for the sick. She was called Love Interest.
You liked that, didn't you?
Yes.
So, as far as that goes, are there going to be more characters that come up? Are you going to eventually go back to doing skits like that, or are you sticking with the documentarian style?
Yeah, well, that's why I just made the second channel.
I'm going to link that. Actually, it's called Under the Hood.
Under the Hood, yeah.
And
sorry, go on.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just going to say it's wonderful for what I've seen so far.
Well, it was just because the Mr. Snowflake channel, I want the documentaries and the big series to stay on there.
Okay.
And we just needed a place for little silly sketches and daft things, so finally made this second channel.
It's incredible that you can do all of this, and I'll say that because you have a couple series going on right now. Like you have the algorithm series as far as Amberlynn Reed, and you're also doing the Delaware Misfits still, and you have such a rabid fan base as far as that. How do you like? Do you just, when you get tired of one, you move to the other, or how does that work? Is there a schedule for it?
No, I'll do an Amberlynn Reed video. I think I did 2 or 3 in a row, and I needed a break. And the Misfits feel like a break. The Misfits are perfect. They never feel like work.
So, in getting to that, I have to thank you. It snowed here. I live in Texas, in the States, and it snowed. It iced. The freeways were just frozen, and I was terrified riding on those roads because it's not the weather and the conditions. It really is the people that are driving. And you kind of saved my life. And I haven't talked to you about this, but I'm going to tell you now, you saved my life and helped me get home because I needed something in the background. So I popped in that latest Amberlynn video, and I was listening to it, and it got me home safely, just being able to listen to you talk about her. So thank you for that. But they're very well done talking about the beginning of her life. And I've said this to you before, and not going into too much detail, but you're doing something that none of these other commentator channels, none of these other channels that discuss them do. And you're going back to the beginning, and you're thoroughly analyzing, and you're talking about everything from point A, B, C. You're literally going step by step. And for anybody that tries to get involved in these rabbit hole communities, they can go to your channel and watch one of your documentaries, and they're completely caught up. Is that something you've done? Did you plan that out because you saw that other channels weren't doing that? Or is that just you as a person that you are meticulous in that regard?
It was because when Jimmy would send us these videos on different lolcows to cover, I'd always get lost and I wouldn't know where to start. So I just thought, it would be better if there was a video out there which I'm watching 30 minutes and go, oh, that's who that person is. So it was just for me, really. That's how I felt comfortable doing that, just so I would understand who they are.
So you're using yourself first as the viewer, and you're
Yeah,
thinking, this is how I would want it. So clearly, and other people do, because I mean, you get in the time that we've been speaking, you were at 17,000 subscribers. You've already jumped up at least to 18 or 19 at this point. Like, and that's in a matter of, we've been talking for like roughly almost a month, I want to say, like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
And you've already jumped up. I mean, like, there's definitely a fan base, and it's growing, and it's very rabid. I don't see you on Twitter very much, and it's amazing that you're able to do this without that platform, because so many people rely on that instant communication. These are just hardcore fans of yours that are on YouTube. For example, that promo video I did for this, in 3 days, it had tripled what I had done for the original promo for the franchise who I had interviewed before, but that's your fan base, and all you did was promote it on YouTube. So how do you feel about your fans? How do you feel about them being so loyal to you, and just they know they're in it? Like the Jimmy Bunker stuff, they get the comedy. They get. How do you feel about your fans?
It feels weird to say I have fans. It feels weird, but I guess I do. They're lovely. That's the best part of uploading. Upload day, when I upload a video, me and Jimmy will get ready for the comments, and we'll reply to as many as we can, because that's the best bit, when the fans are just saying how much they enjoy it, or it's cheered them up, or they've had a bad day at work, or
absolutely, yes,
it's getting them through their cardio session or something. Yeah, feels great. Yeah, that's the best bit.
So if you had a message to tell these fans that love you and Jimmy and all the Flake family, what would you tell them now?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we made Under the Hood, because we wanted to be more. The fans can get involved. So we've already done a couple of little community posts. Fans can get involved, and we'll make videos about it and put them on that channel, just to say thanks for supporting.
I have no doubt that you are. I'm glad. Again, I've said it before with others, but I'm saying it, and I mean it with you wholeheartedly. I'm glad to speak to you now before you, because you are. It's just, to be honest, you're going to blow up. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be one of the better channels. People are going to come to you to get information and for a laugh, and to fix, like you said, fix their day, for their cardio, whatever it may be. They're going to come to you. It's not a matter of opinion. I think this is fact. As far as that goes, are you prepared for that? I think you are, but I want to, your true thoughts on that. Are you ready for that?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it's lovely now at, what is it, 19,000 subscribers. It's lovely. All the fans, everyone who comments and watches, it's brilliant. So if there's more, that's great. The only worry is that I can't get back to everybody, which is happening now. I haven't got the time. I'm already falling behind.
I get that. Hell, I have nothing close to what you have, but you're so humble, and I appreciate that. Like, your biggest worry is that you can't reach out to all the people, and you don't want them to feel slated because you can't get back to them.
Yeah, I'd hate for someone to comment and then nothing. But thankfully, Jimmy will. If I'm busy, Jimmy will take a screenshot and send me some really good comments. And I'll go, right, I must get back to that when I get time. And yeah.
So do you watch your videos back? Do you like criticize yourself? Because I will watch this interview probably when it's done at least 7 more times. It's in its entirety, just to make sure I didn't sound stupid, or that I'm giving you the opportunity to speak, or whatever. Like, anything I can do to get better. Do you do the same?
No. I don't have time for one, but I tried a while ago. I think it was the Misfits. I tried to watch it back, and I just cringed, and I couldn't watch it.
Is it the sound of your own voice, or what is it?
Voice, yeah. I didn't do my real voice at first. I used some computer thing, yeah. But people said they didn't like it, and I thought, I'm gonna have to use my real voice here. But after I did, all the comments were positive and said it was much better. But yeah, I think it's I like it, but it makes me cringe still.
I get that, because, like, hell, it took me years to finally be able to show my face on camera and whatnot. We talked about we talked about this before, and this again, this is, no pun intended, behind the hood a bit. You and I've interacted. I've gotten the privilege, and it's an honor to be able to. I know what you look like under the hood, and I'm grateful for that. But I also said, like, I love the anonymity, like the fact that you keep the hood on, and I think Jimmy agreed with me.
Yeah.
Keep a little bit of mystery, because you're still the character. You're still Mr. Snowflake, no matter who you are behind that hood. You're still Mr. Snowflake. But the fact is, in talking to you and the personal conversations we've had, this is not far off of who you really are. You're this humble, hardworking, blue-collar gentleman who works his ass off, takes care of his family, and when he has time, does this wonderful hobby that brings so many people joy. Are you happy with that, or would you rather be more of a character?
No, I like that it's the character slowly turned into the real me. But that's why Jimmy's really good, because you can see Jimmy's face. You've got someone you can identify with.
How does Jimmy feel with the progression of the channel when everything's going?
He loves it. I think he gets more excited than I do. He works so much, so it's hard for him to find time to write scripts and help the way he would like to. So he gets a bit down about that, but he helps as much as he can. And I couldn't do the channel without him.
And that's very humbling. Again, I that the key word of all of this is humble. The fact that you really appreciate even the little that he can do when he can. Jimmy is a big deal. And I want everybody to understand, we joke about how Jimmy runs everything, and that is the running joke with everything. But Jimmy Bunker, there would be no Mr. Snowflake channel without Jimmy Bunker, because of the conversations we had. So Jimmy, thank you so much for what you do. I know you wanted to be part of this at some point, and I'll gladly do this again with you and Jimmy, because I find Jimmy as a character very interesting. He's very entertaining with the small pieces you get of him. So sitting down with him and you at the same time, that I'm thirsting for that, just to interact with him and see what he feels he brings to the table, because I'm sure he's as humble as you, and he's I don't do anything. Snowflake does it all. But
no,
no? Or is he like, does he have that ego?
No, he's not big headed or anything, but he's the one with the good ideas. And I think he knows he's the one with all the good ideas, and he knows how much I need him. But it would be good to get me and Jimmy on, because I'm in real life I'm the quiet one, and he'll do all the talking. So it would be good to get Jimmy on.
I look forward to that. I do. Jimmy, thank you again for being so Jimmy doesn't even know me from Adam, but I make a comment. He's very polite. Like, the first thing he popped in and said was, "This better be good," or something along those lines. I hate that guy. I hate. But he's a character in himself, and he seems like a Class A guy, wonderful person. And like I said, talking about before, we need those people to motivate and elevate you, even to believe that you can do this.
Yeah, he's so good for that. I remember when I first started doing it, and straight away he said, "Oh, you'll get plenty of fans and it'll get really big." And I thought, well, it won't, because there's so much on YouTube now. There's just too much. He said, no, it will. And yeah, every now and again he'll like to remind us that he was right, and it's starting to yeah.
So I agree with him, because I have someone behind the curtain here who does the same thing. Anytime I'm down, anytime I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here, she will constantly remind me, no, you love doing this. You love interviewing people. You love talking to people. Keep doing what you're good at, which I don't think I'm good at it. I just like to talk to people. Because I feel like as I'm talking to you, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving. So the next interview will be that much better. I know where you're coming from as far as Jimmy. If Jimmy could be more involved, would he be more of the skits? What would you do with Jimmy if he could be on camera more? What would you do with Mr. Bunker?
Oh, at some point I'll get Jimmy over, and we'll work together. And I think he's really good at writing. I think he'd write more sketches and documentaries. But he's really good on camera. He's really, really good. He's really funny. So anything to get Jimmy on camera. I'm always trying to get him to do sketches or anything. Just film himself, just doing anything, making breakfast, anything. Don't care what it is. Just make breakfast. Just do anything and film it.
I have to ask you this because I'm not sure because I didn't recognize if it was him or not in the Amberlynn video. Literally, I watched, and you were talking about how when she first started, it's hard to be on camera, and I think it was him by the door going, "Well, hello YouTube, fuck." Was that him?
I can't remember it now. I can't remember.
I'll have to look it up later. We'll talk about it because I gotta know because you were just criticizing or you're critiquing the fact that it's and telling people you can get mad at them for not being good at this, but it's very hard. It's hard to come on here and broadcast yourself even with the hood on. Like your job as far as this goes is to first and foremost inform, entertain, and have people leaving feeling like they were satisfied and they gain something after watching your video, and I think you do that very well. When you make videos, what is your goal? What is it like when you put a documentary out? What are you hoping for?
The first thing is always to make it funny, make people laugh. That's the first thing, and then things like inform them and entertain them. But it's always to make them laugh first. It's with the Del Rey Misfits. The point is, what I've started to do now is finish it on a. Have you ever seen The American Office?
Yes, that is actually our favorite show.
Oh, I was watching some behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that how they copied the UK version for the first series, but it didn't really work. But they realized when they ended on a nice heartwarming moment, it kind of worked. Finish on a positive, happy feeling where the audience would go, that was great. I enjoyed that. That's what we're trying to do with the Misfits. Finish every episode where you go, that was great.
And you do that because you always leave a kind of a cliffhanger. Like, will Jason make it to the Ruby Classic? And that's what I wanted to wait till we're here, and I want to talk about that first and foremost. Rest in peace, Big Richard. Thank you for all the entertainment you gave us, and you are wonderful. You encapsulated him perfectly. I know others have thanked you, but thank you also for doing the tribute video to him. It was beautifully done. It wasn't sad. It was admiring and remembering a good man, a hardworking man who fought very hard. So thank you for that. But as far as all that goes, I had very limited information on the Del Rey Misfits, and then I started watching, and I couldn't stop. I literally watched 7 episodes of yours in a day because I couldn't stop watching. What got you to start doing the Del Rey Misfits?
It was I did a Jason Genova, I think it was 10 or 20 minute video, but I thought I'm getting better every time I do this, every time I make a video. So it had been a while since the Jason video, and I thought I'll do a big one this time. I'll do a proper one. I'll watch all the Misfit videos, but then I realized that was going to take forever because there's so many. They've been going for years.
Yeah.
So, I said to Jimmy, I can't do it. There's too many episodes. We'll have to do someone else. And he said, we'll just do a series on the Misfits. If you're watching all of the Misfit videos, just do a series. Like the Chris Chan series.
Yeah. Oh, that was that. I didn't know anything. Like, I heard the name and I heard that he was toxic, but when I watched your video, I didn't realize how bad it was. I mean, wow.
But yeah, I think that was Jimmy saying just do the series then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we started with that series, and then did another one with Amber.
So as far as the Del Rey Misfits go, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Misfit?
I was changing my mind. Sol. Yeah, Sol.
Sol? I get it, because he does look like Uncle Junior, and you brought that up perfectly.
Yeah, Sol. He's just, every time he would come on camera, I'd smile every single time. So Lenny's so funny.
Yeah. Black
Jason
Lenny?
Genova,
Black Lenny.
Jason Genova would change my mind. One day I'd really like him. The next, he'd be really frustrating.
Yeah.
Andrew, the cameraman. Sol.
I can agree with you. I like Saul, but it was always Big Richard for me. Like there's something about him. Like I'll rip your throat out, throw you in the Everglades.
Well, it's the video. I'm doing the Misfits now. I'm working on a video now.
Okay.
There's a big section with Richard in,
Uh-huh.
and it's lovely watching the clips over and over of Richard, but it's really sad.
Yeah.
So it's both. I'm smiling watching him, thinking, "Oh, Richard's on. He's being really funny." But yeah, it's really sad as well.
So let us talk about that. Tragically, Big Richard had passed away recently. No, roughly recently, and you did a wonderful tribute video. Enough so that I believe they reached out. Some of them reached out to you. How did that feel?
That was lovely. And yeah, Andrew sent us a nice message, but it was just really sad. It was nice when the video went up, because a lot of the fans commented funny things about Richard. So that was really nice. So it wasn't like the video did what I wanted. It didn't make everybody really sad. It was just everybody left funny comments about Richard and wasn't he great? And it was like, yeah.
And I feel the emotion coming from you, because I feel it, because and damn you, I told you the other day, damn you, you made me care about these people I will never meet. Probably I may never. I wanted to reach out to them to even speak with them because of what you did. I even sent in the message I sent to their Instagram. I said, I found a channel called Mr. Snowflake, and he has made me enthralled with all of you. I would love to speak to Andrew, and just I could sit down and pick your brain, because you did that. You did that. You made them relevant. I think it's even in the intros. There's a channel out there called Mr. Snowflake.
Yeah.
He's keeping the Misfits alive forever. And they're right. You have done them a service that I don't think anybody could have done. You know, if you were to see them in a small dose, it'd be like, who are these guys? What you've done in your in the documentaries of them, you've humanized them. You made them real people. It really is a reality show. And I think the beautiful thing about it is you don't do just one episode. You do multiple episodes in a block. And you get to grow with these people, and you root for them. I was rooting for Jason to just do well in the Ruby Classic, watching Big Lenny. And the first time he did his competition, and he was upset with himself because he didn't do as well as he wanted. But even though he didn't win in the next one, it was better. Like his back was massive. And and everything he had accomplished in that short amount of time, it was just, you should be commended for what you did. And I think the Misfits fans have gravitated towards you because they see what you're doing. There's not a hateful bone in your body. You joke, you do skits, and it's hilarious, but you're such a good person as far as these people. You give them the opportunity. Yes, you've done some lolcows who are bad, and they just anybody else would look at them and see a negativity, but you've given them also the Misfits. And I'm grateful for that, for the entertainment you've given me. Like, I've laughed with these people who I've never met. I've joked and cried, and I look at the comments, and I'm like, you did that. How does that feel?
Like I said, it is the best part of YouTube when you upload, especially a Misfit video, and all the Misfit fans will comment and join in with the jokes, and they'll make fun of Jimmy. Or they'll say quotes from Jason. Yeah, when I upload a Misfit video,
the piss lord.
Yeah. What's the one I'm working on now? I really, really like this one because we get to go back to Big Lenny's hometown.
Oh,
telling you all these stories about how he was raised by his father, who was really, really strict, and it's so sad. So when he's acting like he is in the later part of the video I've done, it all makes sense because you've just listened to all the stories about his dad. So even when he's being crude or whatever, it all makes sense now. And you go, that's because his dad did this. That's because his dad did that. So you kind of not feel sorry for him.
Empathize, maybe?
You understand why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe that they did ask and they wanted you to come on the podcast. You said that the podcast may be over, but if the opportunity comes up, would you go on that podcast with them? Would you hang out and talk to the Del Rey Misfits?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd be really nervous, but yeah, I'd do it. Yeah.
You've done good work with them, but I'm going to transition to your recent stuff as well. We talked about Amberlyn Reed and how you've started doing a documentary as well with them, with her. Are you up to date with her and the controversies as far as she goes?
No, it's because I don't get much time in the day to work on videos. If I spent 20 minutes keeping up to date with what's happening now, I'd be 20 minutes behind. so I've just got to catch up. Yeah. So I think I'm in December of 2015.
Mm.
And I think eventually I'll catch up to the present timeline, but I've no idea what's coming. No.
Well, I think that's the best way to do it, because you have completely unbiased eyes to go in and see who she is as a person. So it's your honest opinion without knowing what's going to happen next. So I, as advice, would say, do it. You're doing a fantastic job. Continue doing it that way. That way you can give that that instant and true reaction. No different than this. Like we record this live. Or not live, we record this, and there's no prep work for this. We just start having a discussion. It's so different than when, like I said, when you and I speak on Twitter and just have conversations about life. It's real. It's raw. It's two human beings interacting. And as far as that goes, like, I think you get the best out of people without a lot of prep work in situations like this. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Just to mention Amber there, what I was really rooting for Amber, because I know nothing about women. I mean, the only thing I know now is that she's £500 or close to it.
Yeah,
Trip
says where's she at now?
They're saying in the 500s, but I don't believe it.
They're saying in the 500s, but Trip truly believes she's probably pushing 6, because she's really ballooned. I mean, yeah.
But that's it. I knew she didn't succeed in a weight loss journey, but I was still rooting for her when I first watched her early stuff. I was like, I know she doesn't do it, but I'm hoping she does.
Yeah.
And as I'm going along now, I think I'm up to episode 5. I know she doesn't do it, but I'm still kind of willing her to. But I know she. Yeah. I know she.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think she killed that cat?
The cat. What was the cat called? Gracie the cat.
Yes.
Oh. At first, it was just, I thought, this would be funny if we pretend that she killed the cat. That would be a funny little sketch. But I kept seeing clips of her discussing the cat, and it kept coming up. And I was thinking it was just meant to be a joke at first, but I don't know. I don't know now. It was just weird the way she was.
Rest in peace, Gracie the cat. You deserve better.
It was just the tone of voice and the way she was talking about the cat. It was just something didn't sound right.
Yeah.
So I don't think she killed it, but
she definitely let it out.
I think so. Something's happened.
Even as you being unbiased, I could feel like there's a struggle here that you're like, I want to be unbiased, but I think maybe.
Yeah.
So a name that's been thrown around quite a bit in our discussions, and people have wanted you to do this. So this is going to be basically live, exclusive. I'm going to ask you. Do you plan on doing Foodie Beauty?
Oh, yes.
He's doing Foodie Beauty.
But again, because I don't get much time,
yeah.
I haven't seen a thing about it. I know nothing about it. All I've seen is the comments saying, "Do food beauty, do food beauty."
You are in for a treat. You are going to go down a rabbit hole, and I don't know if this might be the one that breaks you. I don't know.
Well, that's what people keep saying. It's brilliant. There's so much to cover, but I know nothing. I know not. I've not seen a thing about it. I mean, I've seen pictures, but I've never watched a video on it.
The pictures do you no justice. It is car crash entertainment at its finest, but you give it a sense of class, I guess I would say. Maybe it's the glasses, maybe it's the shirt and tie, maybe it's the hood. I don't know, but you give it a sense of class, and it works. So I'm looking forward to how you can paint. And I'm not calling her this because because of her weight. I'm calling it because it's an expression. Maybe you can put lipstick on this pig and ride that boy to the fair. I don't know.
I was at first. I thought, oh, it's just another channel. It's just another person trying to lose weight. Oh, I've already done that with Amber. Maybe I shouldn't. But people say it's very, very different.
Well, in that same breath, like if you talk about the three names as far as like the mukbanging and the weight loss, you have Amberlyn Reed, of course, Foodie Beauty, and Nico Cotto Avocado.
Yes, yeah.
What are your thoughts on him?
He's next. Well, I'm going to finish this Misfit. Do another one.
You're doing a Nico Cotto?
Yeah. Yeah, Misfits, another one or two at Amber, and then I'm going to have a go with. It might not work. A series on him might not work at all, but I'll have a go.
I'm curious to see that. You have me as a fan. I told you. I posted it on Twitter. I said it was you, Technicals, and the franchise. Y'all gave me an opportunity here, and I can't say how grateful I am for you giving me that opportunity to interview you. So you have a fan of me for life. So I'll be definitely there to watch that and root you on. I think it's going to be fantastic. Anything you've touched is gold. So we're coming around to that hour mark. Wow, it's flown by.
Oh.
So as far as that goes, I'm going to do with you what I've done with the other two guests. We're going to play Fortune Teller.
Okay.
Mr. Snowflake.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ooh.
Content creation.
5 years. I'd like to just be doing YouTube. I'd like to not have to work anymore. 5 years. Go on. Yeah. I'll say I'll be doing YouTube full time. Yeah.
I think you'll do it. I think you'll surpass and be that. I think you're going to be that guy. I think you're going to be one of those that people look back on and say, we watched the journey. We are with him from the beginning, and he has done it all his way. I think you and Jimmy are going to be very successful as far as that goes. But I want to clarify something for people. When you say you want to do this and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I see it. When you talk about doing YouTube as a job full time and not having to go and do a 9 to 5, you don't mean that because you're trying to get rich off YouTube. You mean it because you enjoy this so much you want to make it your career because you enjoy what you do.
Yeah, I've never had a job where I've loved getting up and going to work. No, I don't know anyone who has. Most people I know don't like the job, but
it's just a thing you have to do. You have to be an adult, you know.
Yeah. But I could sit at the computer all day and edit.
Editing.
As long as it wasn't about vegan gains, I could just sit non-stop. So I'd love to. I'd love to. I think in 5 years, maybe.
My fingers are crossed, and I believe that you will pull that off. I think you're that good. I really do. I'm just grateful that you've given me the opportunity and the time. So we've talked about it before, and I guess we'll talk about it now. This is not going to be the last time we have Mr. Snowflake on.
I'd like to do more, yeah.
You and I have discussed possibly breaking down some of your documentaries and having short conversations about the Misfits and what have you. And I want to personally thank you for that. Thank you for trusting me to do that with you. I'd like to work with Jimmy as well because I think he's fantastic. And I think the crew, the folks I have that work with me would love to work with you as well because you are so down to earth and humble. So Mr. Snowflake, I leave the floor to you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with these people that maybe don't know who you are and want to know more and have caught that interest and caught that bug? What is it, the message that you, and if you'll speak for Jimmy as well, that you want to pass on to the fans and your new fans that may come because of this?
What me and Jimmy always say to each other is we like cheering people up. Like I said earlier, it's great when somebody comments and says, "Oh, I had a rubbish week at work. Been looking forward to this. Thanks, cheered me right up." That it's weird making strangers laugh and entertaining them for 40 minutes, 50 minutes. But it's really good. It's weird making strangers that you don't. It's strange, but I love it.
That being said, I want everybody to know, like, I have looked forward to this since he and I started speaking almost a month ago. I have wanted to do this. I had other obligations to do before this one, but I really you are everything that I want in a YouTube channel. And I'm going to post his channel plus Under the Hood as well in the description. But if you're looking for someone who really does their work thoroughly and works so hard, this is, again, a hobby for you. This is not your full-time job. And anybody that watches would think that you're doing this and getting paid, enough to live. But you're just a normal guy who happens to wear a snowflake hood and looks wonderful in a pair of glasses and just works hard at what he does. If you're looking for a commentary channel, for a documentarian who really puts effort into this and is unbiased, who was literally trying to entertain you, but also educate you at the same time, it's going to be Mr. Snowflake, 100%. I want to thank you again for coming on here, being so, precious with your time. I know how precious time is, and giving me this opportunity. I know I've said that over and over, but I can't express that enough. Thank you again.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if the Misfits next episode is an hour late, it's because of you.
You're going to get them on me, man. They're going to order 66 me. I don't need that in my life.
Because we're now behind now.
That being said, thank you all so much for watching. Mr. Snowflake, thank you again for joining me. And I'm Dan, and we'll see you in the next one.
Definitely.
Peace.
Yeah. Thank you.